Welcome back to some more. I would say Bird Box, but that's already taken. Yeah, they're 3D graphs modeling. I don't know what to call it anymore. I didn't even know what to call it to begin with. So, as per norm right now, it's just gonna be me sitting in front of a camera, modeling my tail feathers off. The wonderful thing about the internet that I've actually found is it's like Zootopia. Anyone can be anything. I hate to use that, but it's true. Well, something that I could mention would probably have to be is I know parents said you can be anything. Some people would say there's limits to that. I really... Well, one of my coworkers put it best. It doesn't... As long as it's not hurting anyone, why should you care? Words to live by. Still drinking on the job. So, yeah, I still like communities, like I said in my intro. And just in case anyone just kind of wandered in venturing YouTube, welcome to the weird side. Because I'm weird. I'm not gonna lie about that. So, I've been mentioning a coworker. I work in a kitchen somewhere. You'll never know. That was actually my backup career. The one thing that I actually like to do outside of modeling is I like to cook, even though I don't have a sense of smell. And you heard that right. I don't have a sense of smell. It's a little weird and a little hard. Because without that sense of smell, it's also affects my sense of taste. So yeah. It's anytime that I actually do something with food, or, to kind of that it actually encourages my appetite, it's always anything. Yeah, my taste palette is very, very small right now. I'm actually working with people to get this fixed, but right now I can't really do much about it. So all I can do is adapt. Yeah, and they'll get to that too. I had a bike accident a couple years ago. These these teeth here are fake. If I God, that was a stupid idea. So I had a bike accident a couple years ago. I have one of those bikes that has one of the quick release tires, and going off of 1 year, or actually 1 day rather, I didn't check that quick release. And that led to me going over a curb and I was wearing my helmet at the time, thankfully, but I went over a curb and my front tire fell off. Like, not just like popped or anything, like the entire wheel just all I could do was thus broken beak. Yes, I call my mouth a beak because it makes me feel good. My teeth that I have the denture for, when I went off that curb and the tire came off, these teeth broke off and went through my lip right there. I had a total of 16 stitches. And there was at one point where I used to sell bikes in Canadian Tire, or it was just one time, because it was during this point where my everything was bad. I have anxiety, depression, all that stuff that's normally accompanied with being trans, because body dysphoria sucks. And I had to sell a bike. So I got the bike and took it down. And I actually used that story to encourage a young guy to actually wear his helmet. And not only that, but do proper bike maintenance. Like, this is a proper story of, you don't have to get into an accident with a car or do tricks or anything to get injured. And if something happens like that and I wasn't wearing my helmet, I would not be here. And that's something I would rather not think about. I also kind of mentioned that my living situation growing up wasn't exactly ideal. And as a result from that, I often hear a lot of things that don't have a lot of basis. I will just say this right now. And I will say this. thyroid issues are not fun to deal with. I don't have a thyroid issue, but my mom and my sister do. So the one thing that I always struggled with is actually accepting myself. And a lot of that does stem from the trans. It bothered me for a long time at style, fashion, and just the way my physical body looked. I could tell something wasn't right. Okay, I'll do this. Actually, here. This is my wonderful skull that I used for life drawing. Because I'm in college for modeling, I do also take life drawing, and one of the things that when studying life drawing that's important is anatomy. And so one of the things about anatomy, or the skull in particular, is male and female skulls actually do differ quite a bit. And one of the main things is the eyebrow line up here. Actually, when testosterone is introduced into the system, the eyebrows get pushed out, make the eyes appear a little more deeper. What's the word? Threatening. Back in the day of caveman. And the jaw here, along this outside for males, like on me, you can still see it. There is a ridge that goes along the bottom of the jaw from here down. It's this small ridge, about a couple inches, but that's what defines the face as being male. And hairline is up further, and the forehead still has a different slope to it as from male to female. And on top of that, the skeleton is different as well. So shoulders thicker, but your bones are denser. When starting to get into drawing, because I knew it was part of animation, I did do some looking into anatomy, and that's one of the things that got me to really, really, really start to dislike my body. And going through life drawing, I took 4 terms of it, which is an entire year's worth of life drawing. So I got used to staring at features that I don't like about myself, like this. I want facial surgery, and I want this removed. And I want electrolysis. People say you still can't see it. Come on, you can clearly see the beard. Oh. It's easy for people to huck stones at trans people, or not understand because it's something very, very personal to each individual that goes through it. One of the recent studies actually said that one of the recent science studies, like it's in scientific, one of the Scientific American studies said that trans brains, especially trans females, so male to females, me, their brains, even before hormones and surgery, are actually more identically wired to cisgender females than typical males. So your brain is automatically telling you as soon as puberty hits that this and this and this and this is wrong. I've seen a couple of videos that will sit there and pick apart trans people. Like, your brain is sitting there telling you that your body's not right. And when you're dealing with that, along with everything else that's going on inside that not best queer situation growing up, it makes you start to question a lot. And by the end of it, like, even now, I actually what am I trying to say here? Being isolated for so long, it makes you question whether or not you're actually human. So we move on. Through my schooling career, I moved around 3 times. And every time that I moved, it was like, during those 3 moves, until the last move, I actually stopped having friends. I didn't know anybody. And when you're in high school and you don't have friends, or even when you're in grade school and you don't have friends, and still dealing with some of the stuff at home, it starts to weigh on you. So the people that will always sit there and question trans or whatnot, and not just trans, furs, Therians, otherkin. Really, all of this is just a way for us to cope with the things that we've been through. And another thing that I ended up becoming really aware of when dealing with everything. One of the things that tends to happen when you're dealing with a lot is you start to get disconnected from a lot of the typical things that people would consider normal. And eventually it just becomes a way for you to cope with being weird. Which is why I've been trying to work on the depression and everything for a long time. And has never been an easy subject. Being in front of a camera is one of those things that at this point makes me feel a little more normal. I hate to use the word normal, but normal. I watched Catharsis' video on gender and pronouns. I tried to. And one of the things he said, one of the things was, well, he felt sorry. Which, honestly, is a little frustrating. It actually got me upset. Because he's sitting there saying that he's sorry for us for being all depressed and hating her and hating how we are, but still won't. He then later made a video about pronouns and how he said they're stupid. It is beyond upsetting to sit there and say, you know what's best for everyone when you have no idea what's going on. Well, okay, you didn't really say that. Okay, this is mixing up, for me it's mixing up a bunch of things. Mixing up someone's pronouns, especially when the person is trans. You're pretty much sitting there saying you know what's best for them when you have no idea what's going on. Because, again, I've said it before, the male pronouns and my dead name is taking me out of a mindset where I'm actually happy and comfortable and actually able to express myself a little bit more. To actually be able to express the feelings, emotions, because estrogen does that. To a mindset of being totally detached from absolutely everything. And when I mean everything, I mean everything. Being called a guy. You, like for me, I can't say you, it's me. I enter you get tunnel vision, you can't see straight, you stop being able to listen to things, you stop being able to listen to people. It's just a zombie state, and it's awful. And before I started hormones, I was like that 24/7. On that note, thanks for watching, guys. A lot of these rants might be similar, might be not, but I'm trying to set a baseline of things so I can grow from this. And not only that, but still kind of feel like I have somewhere to go. Somewhere where I can feel just better. I'm not one of those people. I will actually agree with him on his videos for the other king community and fairies is they don't really have a lot of ideas for personal growth, which is why I'm kind of distancing myself from those communities, even though they're pretty much the only place where I could actually feel accepted and myself. But I'm not gonna lie, this video, even like talking about the anatomy on the skulls and everything, I started to get that tunnel vision again. So I'm gonna end it here. I thank you guys so very much for watching. If you're actually sitting here listening to me squawkle for fucking half hour, 45 minutes, whatever it is, thank you. I know I'm not really making any progress here. You guys see where I'm pointing. You know, I'm not making much progress on my model right now. It's good to have this. It is. Because even though it's just a camera or whatnot, and it's just me sharing bits of my life and whatnot, it still makes me feel a little less alone than what I was. So, thank you.